Hi, I'm John Sayne, and welcome to Greeneville Lodge No. 3, a free and accepted Masons in Tennessee. The year 2017 will mark the 300th anniversary of the establishment of the first Grand Lodge in London, England. Join me for an exclusive one-on-one interview with one of Greeneville's newer members who recently took a trip home and visited some of these historical sites. Wisdom starts now. Hi, I'm John Sayne, and welcome to the first episode of Wisdom. I'm here with Brother Karl Sabey. Brother Karl, I really appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's get right into it. Tell us where you are originally from.
Well, I'm sure you've realised by now that I'm not from Greeneville. From the accent, I was born in England, Bedford, England, and grew up and raised there until I was 17. And been moved here and living in the United States since 1993.
Oh, okay. So, what made you want to become a Freemason?
Well, it was going back many years, and this goes back to my childhood. My best friend's father was a Mason, and there was always a mystery about the whole thing, or it intrigued me as to what it was about. And when I got old enough, I knew I was going to be wanting to join the army as I grew up as a kid. So I ended up joining what they call the Army Cadets, which is like the children's version of the army, if you like, back in England. And our barracks were the Keep, which was the Masonic Lodge in Kempston, Bedford. Okay. So for me, it was always a forefront. It was right there as to what it was about. He would take off and do his meetings in the evening, and it was always such an intrigue. Unfortunately, with me, as I grew up, I travelled a lot. I never really was settled down enough to really get my head around becoming a Mason. And luckily enough, since I've been here in Greeneville now, I've actually found me a residence and a place I'm going to stay. It seemed the perfect time to look into Masonry and actually, get into doing it. So that's how it all sort of became what it is now.
Well, I know Greeneville certainly is happy to have you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I guess for me, of course, my father, he's a member here at Greeneville.
Mm-hmm.
And then his father was a very active member in Knoxville. That's where my dad's from, is Knoxville. And he was active in of course, his Blue Lodge, and he was active in the Scottish Rite in Knoxville. And he was also a Shriner.
All right.
So, how has your journey in Masonry been so far?
Well, obviously, I only started in the Masons here in 2014, so I am a newer member of the lodge. But so far, it's been the only thing I can really compare it to was my military service. One of the things that I found, and I'm sure anyone that's actually ever been in the military will understand that, would be the camaraderie and the fraternity, the friendship, that bond that you have in the military. That I've never found that ever since I came out anywhere in civilian life. Right. I've done a lot of traveling. I've been in a lot of organizations in the world, but that bond has never been there. One of the things that, like I said, I found here was that real tight bond, that camaraderie that you find in the military. And that's one thing I can really say it's been an absolute privilege is having that back again.
So you recently took a trip. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell us about that?
Wonderful time, wonderful time. It's been 8 years since I've actually been back to the UK, and this year my son was itching to go back to see the rest of the family. The last time he was there, he was 9, so this was quite a unique trip for him. So we actually went over in December. We had Christmas and New Year over there, and obviously it was a family time. Obviously that's one thing that Freemasonry really pushes hard is your family time, and I'm sure you understand that. But I also had the opportunity while I was there to actually was invited to visit the keep where I grew up as a kid,
really?
At John Bunyan Lodge. Yeah, so it was a real honour to be able to see how it's done back in the UK in the lodges over there.
It's a little bit different, isn't it?
Oh yeah, a lot different, a lot different.
Did you actually get to see the Grand Lodge?
I did. I took a tour. Unfortunately, the Grand Lodge at the moment is going through some renovations. So there was a lot of the places was in the lodge. It was out of bounds at the time.
Right.
But we still managed to get to see. You know, I mean, the place is beautiful. It's very hard to explain. You walk in, you're in awe. With the way that the lodge has been built and the age of it. I mean, 1717 when all this started. I mean, this is when this lodge has been going.
I mean, we're approaching the 300th anniversary.
Exactly. So for me, it was as a new member, especially to be able to do that while I was there, and come back and be able to tell folks about it. It's just been a real treat, real privilege.
So, as a new member of the lodge, what advice would you give to Masons just starting out on their Masonic journey?
I think the biggest thing would be to dedicate the time to the lodge. It's all well and good becoming a member, but you really need to get into it, and you really need to sort of learn what the lodge is all about. Getting to know the members real well that are in the lodge and the other brothers. But dedicating your time to educating yourself about what Freemasonry is all about. It's the beginning, the stepping stones, if you like, at the beginning is, as I said, the beginning. But actually getting into it, learning it, and understanding it. I think that's a big one. There's a lot of misconceptions in the world, as I'm sure you know, when it comes to Freemasonry. But learning that, and I think it helps you to educate other people as well.
I guess the advice that I would give would be patient, because there's a ton of information that you get when you first go through your degrees.
Very much so.
And it takes a while to digest all that, so just stick with it. Just be patient with it, because it's going to come to you, and you're going to figure it all out.
Right, yeah.
So what advice would you give to those that are thinking about joining?
I think the biggest thing is to make sure it is definitely something you want to do. There is a certain amount of dedication that you have to give to Masonry to make it work. But if it's something that you're not sure about, don't do it yet. Wait. Get some more information. Talk to some more people that are already involved in the lodge, and get the information first before you make that actual step to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my advice. You know, do your homework.
Correct, yeah.
Research it. Because if you have any doubt about joining, don't do it. I mean, because you're not going to have your whole heart into it.
Exactly.
And so you just need to wait.
Yeah.
But I would definitely recommend doing some research, doing some homework, and then make a decision.
Okay, best advice, yep, definitely.
Brother Karl, it has been a true privilege hearing about your stories. And I thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to many, many more years with Greeneville Lodge No. 3.
We look forward to having you.
Thank you.
It is always good to sit down with well-informed brethren and share our love of Masonry. It is a joy to hear stories of their journeys in life and live vicariously through them. For more information about Greeneville Lodge, visit Greeneville Lodge No3.org. If you or someone you know is interested in becoming a Freemason, remember, ask one to be one. Until next time, thanks for watching.